Comments on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, and X. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Good to see you for our weekly Sunday sunset chats. We've got a warm and humid week ahead. Rain chances basically every day. Not saying that any or all the days will be washouts, but we have showers and storms kind of in the forecast for the entire week as a warm, humid air mass takes over our region probably until Thursday night or Friday. Yes, we could see maybe a slight strong storm threat on Thursday, maybe one or two strong storms Tuesday. Wednesday looks like the warmest, sunniest day. So that's something we can hopefully work around if you need some sunshine. And good to see you, AM and GT and Roy. Thank you so much, Green, for joining. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com on Facebook. Hello, Peter, YouTube, X, and Instagram. Radar is pretty active below us, below me here tonight, especially, let's say, along and east of I 95. But we can still use some of this rain, which we'll get into as well. And we can see a lot of these hit or miss showers this week. It's going to be kind of much of the same. Watching radar together as we go through, this entire week. We have kind of a cold front, hopefully clearing us out briefly for Wednesday, even though we can't completely rule out showers and storms then. And then I think our stronger cold front comes through on Friday. So we need to watch ahead of that. Maybe on Thursday, that's the greatest but not widespread threat for some strong, maybe severe storms. Good to see you, Katrina and LM and Openly and Laura and your Lima. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram. And Charlene, the plants love the moisture. Good to see you on Facebook and Merck and Laura on Instagram. Thank you so much. And here's your temperature trends this week. It is, right now, as we speak tonight, the humidity is increasing. It's going to be a somewhat, uncomfortable week in some regards. Great for midsummer, don't get me wrong, but we're not acclimated to dew points going into kind of the 60s, well into the 60s this week. So prepare yourself for a little bit of that summery feel to the air, even when it is cloudy at times. And this is why we have these showers and storm chances basically peppering most days this week. And I want to caution you, you could hear some rumbles of thunder before dawn on Tuesday, before dawn on Thursday, maybe even before dawn on Friday. So shower and storm chances might pester us overnight hours as well, not just the daytime hours, but because it is a humid, warm air mass, we kind of have some focal points for bubbling up. The sunshine, limited as it might be, the sunshine bubbling up and percolating the atmosphere in the mid to late afternoon hours, more often than not, producing storms, especially Tuesday and Thursday, it looks like this week. All right, so let me show you how precipitation patterns, generally speaking, look this week. They could add up to maybe an inch of rain. Maybe central Virginia looks like the drier area overall, more often than not this week. But these are hit or miss showers and storms, nothing too organized, but they do at least add up to a little bit of rain, which I know gardeners and farmers have been wanting. With some of the short term, we kind of shifted into a warm weather pattern, a warm summery pattern where showers and storms are a little less organized. We don't see that consistent shield of rain that we get from those wintertime nor'easters. And again, we're focused on maybe Tuesday and Thursday look like thunderstorm days. And one or two could be strong, maybe Tuesday. The slightly higher chance for a few strong storms, maybe wind gusts over 58 miles an hour, that could come on Thursday. So we'll watch that with you. Nothing widespread to speak of just yet. Melissa, thanks for joining in. Kimber, CW, and Abe Pitts, and Danette, good to see you. And Cloud Guy, I really appreciate seeing you on Instagram as well. All right, and we've got Liz, closed window weather. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook. Turn on that AC. And Beth, indeed, the plants love the moisture, but we could just take some, sunlight to take full advantage of it. And I do think we see a little bit more sunshine tomorrow, just a little bit. And Liz, a slight chance for storms tonight. Showers and storms, I think, are in my forecast, my latest PM update at capitalweathergang.com. I think there's a slightly higher chance from the data I looked at for showers and storms tomorrow night, Monday night. But it's generally speaking a week where we have showers and storms to dodge. You might want to carry that small umbrella with you. It's a little difficult with medium confidence on pinpointing exact timing, exact location this week. So all of us, we're gonna have to be watching radar. We'll be checking those short-term models when we get kind of a leg up on maybe more higher confidence on when and where we might see some of these thunderstorms. April, I think the best day for outdoors would be Wednesday this week. Liz, you're most welcome. Paul, Mother's Day could be a little bit cloudy with a couple showers, but still too soon to say. Don't make any major plans that you can't change either way, depending on sun or rain. I think there's still time for things to change for those mothers, for the Mother's Day plans. Gail, I think tomorrow before noon is generally better than afternoon tomorrow for showers and storms. Chances might pick up tomorrow, kind of mid to late afternoon. And Steve, I think we could get a small break from humidity on Wednesday. Good question. So let's go into that one more time with dew points here in the animation above me and kind of the gauge that we use here at the Washington Post and CapitalWeatherGang.com. Kind of sticky at times this week. We could see dew points above 65. So while this would be, acceptable and fine in July and midsummer, going into not quite summer yet, right? It's still May. We're not acclimated to this. We're not used to this. So it's something just to take into account this week. We could have, when accounting for temperature and adding in the humidity, we might have a heat index that's slightly higher than what it looks like on the thermometer because of the difficulty our skin will have evaporating sweat at times this week. So, I'm not saying that we'll have any, major heat stress issues this week, but it's something that we will, one or two times we'll be taking some pause of like, wow, this is a heavier feeling, more moist atmosphere that we have not seen much of just quite yet. But we're getting, slowly a little more acclimated to the dew points in the 60s as we get through into May and closer to June. Slowly, we will get there. All right, good seeing all of you. Ballet, EW, Andy, Feg, and AB, and A8, and Jackie. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram. And Jarvis, we're talking about humidity right now. Maybe a small break on Wednesday. So hopefully you are still tuned in and saw my answer to your question. Catherine, good seeing you on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. Ruth Elisa as well. And Lewis, I think it's still too soon to say about next weekend for Saturday and Mother's Day on Sunday. Currently, it leans a little cloudier with some showers around, a little cooler, maybe 60s, low 70s, cooler than what we are seeing for this work week. And Patty's happy about the rain. And excellent. Good to see all of you on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm Cameron Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. There's our blog anytime you need us 24/7. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me show you the temperature trends this week. This is a warm front that's moved through. The humidity is on its way up overnight tonight. And that's why we're seeing some of these showers and a couple storms peppering the region tonight. An air mass is increasing in its moisture, its humidity, and in temperatures this week. I think our warmest day this week, we have an outside chance of maybe seeing 90 in a couple spots on Wednesday. That should be our sunniest day. The chances are lowest for rain chances that day on Wednesday as well. But again, cannot rule out a shower or storm any day this week. And even a few nights, we could hear some rumbles of thunder as well. All right. Let me take you into kind of the precipitation pattern this week. It's hit or miss showers and storms. What do they add up to? I think none of us really will complain, adding up to an inch in certain spots here in the 7-day forecast of rainfall below me. So by the time you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly Sunday sunset chat, Central Virginia, you're kind of the drier spot, maybe 3/4 of an inch in those areas in Central Virginia. But I think a lot of us could see zero point 0.8, zero point 0.9, a full inch of rain, but it is not going to be evenly spread. We're in the warm season where precipitation patterns are going to be much more patchwork, much more like a quilt into the warm season. So gardeners in one county over could be having to water a lot, and we could get too much water in the next county over. That it's just going to be very close proximity for rain deficits and rain surpluses, all dependent on where these showers and storms end up, which in an atmosphere which is bubbling and percolating with just little bits of sunshine here and there this week and throughout much of the warm season. It just depends on where these bubbles of air bubble up enough to develop some clouds, cumulonimbus clouds, and maybe some thunder showers and thunderstorms. It's impossible. It really is impossible to predict the exact, location, latitude, longitude, and exact timing of some of these showers and storms. But that's what we have to contend with for this time of year. And clouds, generally a fairly cloudy week this week, but I think our sunniest day, I wanted to focus on Wednesday. If you're looking for the sun, lower rain chances, lower humidity. I think Wednesday is the day I want to highlight for this week. But be aware, it could be our warmest day this week, maybe near 90 in a few spots, few spots. So keep that in mind. Looking ahead for next work week, we might get a break. If you are tired of the warm weather, we could, atmosphere is currently leaning below average for temperatures above for next work week. And currently the atmosphere is leaning above average in precipitation. Sorry, snow lovers, it's too late. If, this might be in the very heart of winter, a nice little snow signal, but we can't get that now here in May. Now, as you saw my PM update today on capitalweathergang.com, it is interesting that we started the year for many weeks in a rain surplus, but short term we have seen some drying, some below average, some rain deficits, a patchwork, of course, of rain deficits depending on where showers and storms have ended up this time of year. But I want to encourage you to, relax that there is no drought in the region. Our seasonal outlook and our monthly outlook are all clear right now of drought in the forecast. But because of short term dryness, especially in Southern Virginia and North Carolina, there has been a slight spread of abnormally dry conditions, which are considered D0, not even level 1 drought, there in the yellow shading. But in the last, medium term, we have seen some rainfall deficits develop in the region, and I went into details and different timeframes for you in my PM update at capitalweathergang.com. That's up live on the blog right now. All right, and pollen, I think we've got plenty of allergy sufferers usually tuning in. Laura, there's Laura from YouTube. Good to see you. Yep, my fellow allergy sufferers like Laura. We are good news is likely past peak for tree pollen. The bad news is we've had lovely, recent rains to get the grasses going and even some mold and mildew spores going. So luckily wheat's not participating as it stands now, but we've got plenty of allergens in the air. And with peaks of sun, especially going into Tuesday and Wednesday, I think we could see our kind of short-term allergy relief that we kind of enjoyed over the weekend with some rainfall and cooler temperatures that could go by the wayside by the middle part of this week. NF and 34 and Maria and Kristen, thanks for tuning in on Instagram. I think I've covered all the questions. I'm checking really quick to make sure I haven't missed your questions or comments. The Paw Paw, you're most welcome. I'm glad I could answer your question there on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Tyler, I'm happy to talk about the potential for strong storms Thursday and maybe a little bit on Tuesday, just a hair. I think Thursday, if a big if, we see 5 to 15, maybe 20% chance of a couple few storms, maybe with some stronger winds. That would be the day we see it on Thursday, but there is not a strong signal. Does not look like a widespread event just yet. But it's worth watching. It's worth watching. The jet stream energy that is more interesting and conducive to stronger and severe storms should stay into the south of the Mid Atlantic. But worth watching. There are some signs there, but not a very clear uh, high confidence signal. And even if we do see some strong storms, it does not so far look to be a widespread event. But we're going to all keep it in the back of our minds. We could even see one or two strong storms with some stronger winds on Tuesday as well. That looks like our other kind of main thunderstorm day where the atmosphere is percolating with a little bit of sunshine, and these high dew points make for some instability in the atmosphere as well. Now, some of you have wondered about our summer outlook, which we'll put out closer to, I think, Memorial Day. But currently, summer from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is leaning above average for temperatures and above average for precipitation. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind as well when you're thinking ahead. And we'll of course be honing our forecast as we get closer to Memorial Day. So stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com as we get closer. I'm Camden Walker for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat on the air another 6 minutes or so. Thanks for tuning in to our weekly chats on Instagram. We've got X, Facebook, and YouTube. So Tyler, thanks for tuning in. And Ruth Lisa, I don't think there's a guarantee that Tuesday would be a total washout for you. These are generally showers and storms that are short to medium term in duration, but I will admit for exact timing, exact location, it's fairly hard to pin down at this time. We'll be doing kind of some short-term forecasting for you as you know with each day in this type of atmosphere where things are bubbling up and percolating. We're going to have to look at short-term data each day. Catherine, you're most welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And Keegan on X. I'm sorry to hear about the pollen and no snow chances as it stands now. But really appreciate you tuning in. And Jajet, thanks so much for tuning in on X as well. And Donna, good seeing you from Iowa. Really appreciate you and AR and Lance and Silvers and Ammo and Kids and Being Dave. Good seeing all of you on Instagram as well. All right, don't be shy to repeat questions the next 4 minutes while I'm still in the air. If I've missed anything, radar is fairly, medium active tonight. We still do see maybe one or two storms roving the region tonight, especially a little earlier tonight. And then showers can't be ruled out for much of the evening. We could see some fog and drizzle after midnight as well. Remember to use your low beams if you are out driving very late tonight. And overall, it's a theme for much of the week. The radar is going to look like showers, storms, no full day washouts predicted, but we are in a summer-like atmosphere with some heat, humidity. It's going to be difficult to pin down exact timing and location for these showers and storms, but pretty much every day, it might be a good idea to have one of those small umbrellas, like just if in your bag, if you have one of those small travel umbrellas, I think that would be a really good call. Temperature trends this week. We kind of are heading up in the warmth and humidity overnight tonight into the 70s tomorrow, likely, into Tuesday. Wednesday looks like our warmest day. We look at those whiter colors there, maybe near 90 in a few spots, especially south of town. The heat ebbs, I think, a little bit on Thursday, but it still could be pretty warm on Thursday. Friday, hopefully, we get this cold front through here. We can reduce our rain chances, our humidity for kind of more the medium term and cooler temperatures as well. All right, let me show you what I have here for dew point animation, just to show you it's going to be one of those heavier atmospheres this week, a little harder to breathe in some regards. Our sweat is not going to evaporate very well. That's why we could have some small heat index values where it's kind of sticky, a little unpleasant at times. Can't rule out dew points being above 65. And Chris, I'm sorry you missed the sun and the moon. It has been very cloudy. So on that note, let me show you that we could indeed see clouds for much of this week. But if you are a photographer like Chris, I think you could enjoy kind of Wednesday as a time to focus on fewer clouds in the region. We might even get a break from humidity, but it could be our sunniest and warmest day this week, maybe near 90 in some spots. So keep that in mind. Good seeing all of you on Instagram, including Chris and Alex and Atot and Lucy. And we've got, let's see, Eddie, thanks for tuning in. I think Wednesday is the best day for a Nats game with the least rain chances. Notice I don't say no rain chances for Wednesday. And Julia, most welcome. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. And Beth, I think you're going to want to maybe go outside on Wednesday if you're looking for an outdoor day. But generally, if I think I'm on your page with air conditioning and windows are closed for much of this week. All right, Clinton, thanks for tuning in, and Keegan and Donna. All right, I think I've caught up on the questions from Instagram, YouTube, X, and Facebook. Now let me show you the 7-day rainfall amounts could add up to an inch for gardeners and farmers. That's great news. Central Virginia looks like kind of the drier spot in our region, but still getting, it looks like at least a half inch of rain this week. So no major complaints there. For looking ahead, next work week, leaning up below average for temperatures, above average for precipitation. Sorry, snow lovers, it's not the middle of winter. That would be like a small snow signal, but not now here in May. While, let's see, no drought to speak of is the kind of headline good news. We do have abnormally dry conditions kind of spreading from North Carolina into Southern Virginia. Still not officially a drought, but it is because of kind of medium to longer term rainfall deficits. I went into shorter rainfall deficits in different timelines. Lots of data I put into the PM update today at capitalweathergang.com, so please check that out for me. And pollen for my fellow allergy sufferers, still high with trees, still not great with grasses, and even mold is playing fun, on the panels here to give us plenty to be allergic to. But the good news is trees look like they've passed peak for this year, fingers crossed. Generally on schedule, but hopefully that puts some of this behind us, my fellow allergy sufferers. Julia, I'm sorry to say there could be some storms, even overnight, a couple nights. we're looking at Thursday just a little bit. There's a small chance if we pick any day this week for strong storms, it would be Thursday, followed by maybe one or two strong storms on Tuesday. But generally speaking, Tuesday and Thursday, even before sunrise each day, we could see some thunderstorms develop. Those are our two kind of thunderstorm days. All right, there's my PM update. The forecast at a glance just above me, current radar below. We've got Nick and Liz and Amanda, and we've got Melissa. Thank you so much. And let's see, I would not be focused on anything, Melissa, for Friday morning specifics just yet. Please stay nimble. This is going to be a shower storm, bubbling atmosphere type of week where we're going to need to have to admit to ourselves that we can't pinpoint the exact timing and location of these storms that will pop up this week. Probabilities for thunderstorms are mainly Tuesday and Thursday, if that helps. Friday, generally looking a little bit better, but I don't want to give you high confidence forecast that you can plan around just yet. This is going to be a week where we have to look at short term data, watch radar. So please wait if you can. Have a plan B at the back of your mind, but it's not at a point where it's a high enough confidence forecast for Friday that I would take action if you can wait, please. And so, Odette, the weekend, leaning a little cloudier, a little cooler, and maybe a little wetter. And Thursday, Dune, if you can take those photos earlier in the day before the atmosphere destabilizes with potential for storms in the afternoon, that might be a good plan if you can lean toward the morning for scheduling those outdoor photos. All right. Julie, I'm sorry about the storms. And all right, we got Eddie and Beth. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. I'm signing off, going over my 20 minutes today, but I will see you next Sunday for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Make sure you check out my PM updates. Yesterday and today, I have some good information on pollen and our rainfall deficit and drought status. I will see you next Sunday. Have a good week. I hope you can stay dry while dodging these showers and storms. Thursday is the highest chance for some strong storms, but not a major signal, not looking widespread or anything like that. Followed by maybe one or two storms on Tuesday. It's kind of a secondary thing we're watching for thunderstorms there as well. All right. Be well, and I'll see you.